Who the hell they were talking about. I don't know who that person is. You could tell me a bridge, Hakeem. Thank you. I'm really not used to reading off of a stand, so I better just go with what I'm used to.
What am I doing?
More light, because she recognizes that I'm above 40 and I need more light.
Girl,
Thank you very much. Yes. So, good night. Thank you very much. I am going to read one of my poems that's collected in this book, Point of Order. But first, I'd like to introduce you to one of our Belizean literary forefathers, the person James Martinez. He was one of the very first published poets in Belize, one of the writers that preceded the 1960s, which is considered in Belize's literary development, the heyday of Belizean poetry publications. But before the 1960s, James Martinez and others like James Elliott, Methodist Reverend, they were the poets who stand out to me as rather revolutionary, because while everybody else was publishing in standard English, this was during colonial times when Creole was considered bad English and associated with backwardness and lack of ambition. Guys like James Martinez were writing in Creole. And so Martinez was born in Punta Gorda, the southern part of the country, for those of you who are visitors. And in 1880 he was born, and he published this collection of poems titled Caribbean Jingles. Kind of a corny name, doesn't do justice to the collection of poems, I think. But he published Caribbean Jingles in 1920. And so his collection is hailed as one of the first noteworthy publications in Belizean poetry. And so I will read to you, by way of introducing to you James Martinez's work, his poem titled The Jazz Band. It is, like I said, written in Creole, but it is not the true Creole that we speak. It is a version of Creole that the poet employs to serve his purpose of, I suppose, appealing to both a local Creole-speaking audience and non-Creole speakers beyond Belize. So the Creole is a hybrid, or what the fancy linguists would call mesolectal Creole, right? Englishish kind of Creole. So the poem is titled The Jazz Band. And it is Martinez's description of his first encounter with jazz, his impressions upon hearing jazz the first time. The Jazz Band. I've been to listen lately and hear the jazz band play. And goodness me, my nerves, they nearly bust. They kick up such a squabble and they make such a lot of noise. I never hear such instrumental fuss. The instrument ain't many, as in the regular band. And to look at them, you never would suspect that the polished-looking cornet and the slim and neat trombone could ever raise such row as what they make. First, the clarinet starts squeaking some notes of discontent. Then the bass begin to bellow out a few, and the tambourine join the chorus with some slow discordant sound, and the drum begin to beat a brisk tattoo. And so they scream and babble, each mixing in the row until the air is full with deafening noise. Then just like from electric, you get a sudden shock as the cymbal clash, a lightning-like surprise. And then the row is now quite heated, and they have a big dispute as if they're going to end up in a fight. And the cornet started bleating, and the bass commenced to roar, and the tambourine blast and howl with all his might. So they quarrel and they squabble and they scream and screech and howl till they drop into a kind of stifling groan. And you wonder as you listen what is going to happen next. Then you hear the trombone give a dying moan. And so you sit and listen till your head commences to swim. And you feel yourself just like you're going to drop. Then you hear an awful squealing and another startling sound as the cymbal make a clap for them to stop. And so the time is finished, the tune is finished, if tune it really was, and the instrument is put aside to rest, and you feel your nerve are troubling, and your head are aching hard, and you think to get some quiet is the best.